Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fight Insight podcast. I'm your host, Timmy B, here with, of course, the UFC veteran, my friend, and co-host, Brian Bam Bam Barberina.
Let's go, Timmy B, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fight Insight podcast.
Our guest today is a 43-fight veteran, the former World Series of Fighting / PFL welterweight champion, and a UFC and Bellator title challenger who currently can be seen and heard on the most excellent podcast, John Fitch Knows Nothing, which is a total lie because he knows a hell of a lot. That's why he's here. Go watch that right after you watch this podcast. He brings excellent thoughts and analysis on the fight game and the world in general. And Bam Bam, I always say, like, you should never agree with someone 100%. I agree with this guy like 99% of the time on his takes. So I'm happy to meet him. He's a strong voice in the recently resolved UFC AntiTrust lawsuit, or is it resolved? I don't really understand. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the MMA legend, John Fitch.
What's up? What's cracking?
How's it going?
Boom. What's up, dude?
Good,
How are you?
Good. Oh, excuse me.
Good to have
How are you,
here.
my friend?
Doing good.
Look at you.
And, had our first open house over the past weekend. Trying to sell the property over here.
Yep.
And get out of California.
Well, hopefully it went well.
Yeah. Did you get a lot of people coming through the open house?
Yeah, I had a few people. Had a good number of people coming in. More people came on Sunday than Saturday, but we'll do another one this next weekend, and hopefully we'll start getting some offers.
Are you holding for offers here in Toronto, Canada? The market has been so hot that one of the strategies is you hold for offers, so that way everyone forces to bid at the same time, and you started bidding more.
No, they will ask offers to be in by a certain day sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far.
But you'll take an offer today if someone gives you one.
If it's the right offer.
If it's the right offer, yeah. But
if they offer me what I'm asking today, yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, look, has anybody put in an offer and said, "Look, I want it, but I also want John Fitch to sign all the walls"? You know what I mean? Like, is that part of the offer?
Well, I mean, I painted all the walls, so it's kind of the same.
It's like a John Fitch masterpiece.
Yeah.
I signed it like a bunch of times. Like
with your paintbrush. Look,
Yep.
here's the thing. You must be rolling in money, though, because you are wearing a vintage sweater that is increasing in value by the minute.
Be careful. I might have got paint on it, but
Jeez,
it's
Louise.
yeah.
You gotta save that.
It's like the artist, when the artist dies, his paintings get more valuable.
Yeah.
When the company goes under, their swag
That's what I'm
goes
saying.
more valuable. I got some pride shirts somewhere. I gotta dig out then.
There you go, man. I'm telling you.
Worse
Pretty soon, Jake Paul will be wearing that sweater around his neck. You could give it to him. Jar it up for you. No,
I've just come to the realization of the last few weeks that I'm just old now. I'm just old. All this shit is just terrible. Everything's terrible. I'm just an old guy yelling at clouds now. Everything's literally terrible.
I'm
like there's like I love my life.
Awesome.
Don't get me wrong. I have a great life, but everything sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah. John, this is why I'm saying this is why I really appreciate your stuff, man. Bam Bam and I we became friends like 5 years ago when I started this podcast. Now he's my co-host. I'm so amazed at it. But the reason why we bonded is because we always joke that we're old souls.
Yeah.
But this is why I like your stuff, because oftentimes I'm watching your thing and your takes on things, it's very similar to mine all the time, like getting really angry at stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this bothers the shit out of me too.
It's just, it's so much just like I say it because you say Jake Paul, but it's like,
yeah, I know that got you.
That's what fight fans today think is fight. Is a fighter. It's fighting.
Yeah, it's not.
It's gross. It makes you almost like not want to say you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know nothing about combat sports. Don't talk to me about anything. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved. It's nuts, man.
Yeah. Well, that's why our podcast happens, is because pretty much every week I just talk about conspiracies and stuff, which I'm going to get to a bunch with you. But look, here's the thing. way back on episode 194. This is episode 215. So 20 weeks ago or so, I had Heather Jo Clark on the podcast because I saw that she was quoted when they started talking about the UFC antitrust lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And she came on to give me her thoughts about it and explain it to me. And it really helped because I had a lot of preconceived notions about things. I had different feelings, but she really helped explain it in a good way. The day after we record our podcast, that's when the settlement went through. It's finally been approved. You've been a big voice behind it. You've been strong behind it. I want to ask you, though, first question. Why is nobody talking about it?
It's nobody wants to make UFC mad. Nobody like the guys that own the UFC is a very large, powerful company. And if you want to be in front of a camera or make money through entertainment, like you can't piss them off.
Yeah, it's not just the UFC in general. It's their partners and
It's who owns them and everything else they own, and what are they trying to get accomplished and what are they doing? You know, yeah.
But why?
It's-
And does that include the media?
Very weird. What's that?
And does that include the media? Because why, when the story
I think
breaks?
so, because the media gets credentials pulled. They get, they get fighters told, they get told fighters told not to talk to them. Hey, don't talk to this company, don't talk to this website, don't talk to this journalist. Like, we're not on good terms with them. So they have a lot of power they have a monopoly. They monopolize an industry. So like they do whatever the hell they want to, and people have to walk on eggshells around them or they'll be punished.
Right.
And that punishment could just be freaking, oh, he's not ready to fight. He doesn't really want to fight. He's not taking fights seriously. They're just talking shit about you with you not around and just push narratives about you.
And you were one of the starting guys for this lawsuit, is that right?
One of the original guys,
a small group of you, but you were one of the originals.
Yeah, one of the original guys. Kingsbury, Nate Quarry, Kung Lee, myself, Jimbo, who passed away, was also involved.
Okay.
In it. Javier Vasquez, too. But I was the most active at the time when we filed the suit, because Kung Lee was kind of on his way out. But yeah, I was there in the beginning. The lawyers came. I met Rob Macy from the MMA FA years before. It was like 2008 was when UFC cut me for the video game thing. When I wouldn't sign the video game agreement, they cut me.
The name, image, and likeness, right?
Yep, for no money forever. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And
wait, hold on. That said, Bam Bam, did you sign that?
I don't think I've never been in a game, so I don't know. I don't think so.
But that means if they're
he doesn't think so. So you might not even know it's in your.
I might not even know. It's probably put into the contract and stuff. So I probably, honestly, I'm going to say I probably did.
Because John, I apologize. That's the way that they would make, like, if they're making a UFC card with Bam Bam's face on it, it would be based off that name, image, and likeness contract, right?
Well, they have different merchandising agreement contract stuff. But yeah, we basically at that time was asked to sign a merchandising agreement, which nobody was signing, and the video game agreement, which also people weren't signing because they were bad.
Yeah.
And then I said no, Kashik said no, and they cut me without telling me, and they told the press, and they had the press all ready to go the next morning, and they were all over it because they wanted to push the message to everybody that
this is what happens.
This is what happens to you if you don't do what we ask. If you're not a team player, if you're not helping us out. So everybody signed after that day.
Jeez.
Like it worked. Yeah. It worked.
So look, Okay.
So there was that. So there was the merchandise agreement, and I don't know if they've combined them in recent years, or I think they have started paying the guys a small amount.
I know there is like something if you're in the game.
Yeah.
We do get like money of like certain merchandise, but I think it's a very small percentage.
It's very small, and the numbers aren't great.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like they can be like, oh well, they got this great deal, and then no, it's not a great deal. It's a pretty shitty deal, but you don't have an option to negotiate or change it.
Right. Well, that's
but yeah. So they I don't know if they've changed with how they do that, but they could have it put into the your promotional agreement, maybe, but it might also be separate contract.
But okay, so nobody's talking about this. Like, it's a $375 million settlement based off of a 10-year long lawsuit, UFC antitrust lawsuit, right? Talking about how they have, and I apologize, I know that we were talking with Heather Joe, I was talking, and they're calling it a monopsony, not a monopoly, because they're saying a monopoly involves a single seller controlling the supply of goods and services, whereas a monopsony is the single buyer controlling the demand. And so that's what happens, right? So now, so nobody talks about this, John. Like, nobody talks about the lawsuit.
Nobody talks about it at all, and nobody talks about the reason that happens, why they own all of the labor, is because they own the belt. Right? There's one title out there that everybody wants, and because of that, they have the power. Because guys are always going to go to sign with them because they're going to have the highest ranked guys in their promotion, and they have the highest title, which is the title that's going to get you the most money. So owning that belt gives them the position to where everybody has to come to them.
Yeah.
And then
they have the ability to just like, because everybody wants to go there, they're like, well, we'll take you or not take you if you don't want to do what we say, kind of thing.
Your choice.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not merit based off of wins and losses then.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So that's why nobody's talking about it, because maybe they're scared for their job because the contracts are so one-sided. We can just let you go whenever you want. So if you're really going to put up a fuss, here's the thing. What happens now? Because I know that there's another lawsuit going on for the time after yours. But as part of this settlement, you could agree to a settlement if one party, blah, 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 changes anything. As a part of this settlement, did the UFC agree to make any changes to their behaviors or payment schedules? Do you know?
So one of the reasons we had to settle was because the case took too long. Like, it took too long for him to give us our class certification. You need 3 years of current market data to see what's going on, to see if there's injunctive relief is necessary, or if they do an injunctive relief. So we passed that window of the 3 years because he was sitting and waiting on a tuna fish case, and then we also had the COVID slowing everything down for a period.
And sorry, who is he? Who is he you're speaking about?
The judge.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Judge Bullworth. Yeah. So if he would have gotten in a little bit closer to the time period when he said he was going to give us the class certification, it just took him like 3 years to write it. If we would have gotten it sooner, then we would have had a stronger case, and injunctive relief would have been possible. Also had to say that if we weren't going for damages, if we weren't seeking damages, just injunctive relief, like, the case would be over with. The judge just would have been like, oh yeah, okay, you're breaking the law, and here's how we fix it.
Right. Okay. So as a result of this settlement, though, has UFC committed to changing anything?
So then there's no changes yet, because there's still another case, right? The Johnson class, right? So the Johnson class is still seeking class certification. So that carries the injunctive relief and the damages, which is greatly reduced in damages of people who can collect, because they started making guys sign a waiver saying that you're not allowed to join a class action lawsuit.
Is that legal?
That's the sticky one. It's a big battle we have in that case, because there has been landmark decisions or whatever. There's plenty of cases where the judge upheld making somebody sign an agreement saying that they wouldn't join a class action, but not. I don't think there's any. I don't think that's happened with the company who's already involved in a class action lawsuit for something. So that is where we could win, that is because they're already in a class action lawsuit.
Like so it kind of continues on. It's like a continuation. So, it's not like a whole new thing. Almost.
Yeah, so it's not like they can. I don't know if they can force other people to sign a waiver saying they won't take part in the class action lawsuit if they're already in the middle of one. So I don't know where that's the question.
So, but not only that though, John Fitch, and you are super knowledgeable. So see, Bam Bam, I got a good guest who I knew was going to know stuff. But here's the thing. I don't think you need everyone in the class action to be a part of the class action lawsuit. Like, I believe my understanding in a class action is I think it only needs one party who says I'm going to stand up for the others. So as long as you have one guy.
But it'll mean like there's like
or two, it doesn't matter.
Guys or something like that who aren't under that waiver.
Right.
And it's basically the other guys who did sign it won't be able to collect any damages.
I don't know. That seems very. I don't know, man. I feel like that's weird. Like I feel like maybe you could. And it sounds illegal to me that you say. Yeah, I think it feels illegal to say like you can't be the plaintiff in the class action. That already seems illegal to me because essentially that means they could do anything they want to you, and you could never sue them.
Well, like I mean, that's the way UFC's been doing things since the beginning. Is you're not even allowed to sue them. You have to go to arbitration.
Right.
So so you have to go to arbitration first off. Second off, you can't join a class action lawsuit, antitrust lawsuit.
It seems fantastic.
Yeah.
So but here's my problem though. So you have the lawsuit, the antitrust lawsuit, which, and again, understanding that, hey, if we felt we were underpaid as a result of you having the monopsony over the market, and therefore we could only sign with you because, no one's forcing me to sign with you, but that was the best option. But, based on your funds. And I think I remember at the time, the Bloomberg report was saying that they were only paying out 20% of their profits versus like NBA and stuff.
Yeah, it's like 50%. Yeah.
Right. Of the profits versus other organizations that pay like 50%, blah, blah, blah. So there was the difference. That's what the payment is for. And to understand too, for people that maybe didn't watch the other podcasts or don't understand this, John, when I talk to like my fellow MMA nerds, nobody knows anything about this. Like some people don't even know the class action is happening. And when they do, they have no clue. But what I'm explaining to people, they always go like, well, these fighters are signing the contract, so they should just get paid what they agreed to. The problem is because of the monopsony, that was the only contract you really could sign. And the problem is that the reason why they should get paid back pay. Yeah. And the reason why you should get the back pay is because that was money that I should have been paid. And therefore that money now is not just so that I can go buy a pool for my house. It's because of all the costs and things like that I wasn't able to afford because I wasn't paid fairly. And I think that's important for people to understand. That's what you're fighting for, But okay, fine. You get the settlement. Everything's all approved now. And I'm very happy because apparently the money will be paid out soon. But if the UFC doesn't change anything, you're saying the only thing preventing them from possibly continually getting class action lawsuits is that they're making people sign to say you can't do a class action lawsuit?
Yes, and that's part of the strategy, is you keep suing them because they keep breaking the law. If they want to keep settling, fine, but like you're going to keep suing them every time. So every so often they're going to have to pay out $300-400 million.
Yeah,
you keep fighting this, plus the money that they're paying in court.
Lawyers, yeah.
That's why they're trying to force guys to sign the agreement saying they won't join the class action because they want to stop that.
Yeah. Now, this one that's just happened for the 378 million or whatever it is, that's getting. People should go claim that, right? Fighters, there shouldn't be any. There should be no reason why even active fighters that are fighting right now. There should be no reason why they should be scared or nervous about going and claiming this money.
Yep, no, none at all. The money's paid out. The money's going to get paid out no matter what. No matter who collects it, it's getting paid out.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have any fear of like the UFC.
No, there should be no fear at all. You're actually doing them a favor because they're making their lawsuit go away.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, why would you?
It's wild. There are guys who are not. Haven't claimed yet. It's wild.
Yeah.
But wait, why would you not be scared to claim? What if I'm a fighter? Am I not scared that if Dana finds out that I signed up to take my money, that he's going to negatively imply something on me?
You shouldn't feel that. You shouldn't feel that, but I know guys will.
Yeah, guys honestly do. I mean, I've heard of guys who already do feel nervous.
And
about
that should tell you something right away, guys. You should never. Why would you ever have that feeling about your fight promoter?
Yeah,
about anything.
Exactly.
Like that's a major red flag, guys. Oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do to me?
Yeah, he's gonna kick me out, cut me.
Exactly. Like don't ever be afraid of these people. I fought Amy Maya. Like I should have pulled out that fight that morning. I was dead sick, but I was afraid of what they do to me.
Yeah.
Well, I fought anyways, lost, and then they cut me.
Yeah.
So like, don't be afraid of those people. They're garbage.
Yeah.
But we're in such a weird world, right? And that's one of the things. Like I've been doing this
We're
podcast.
We're in the upside down.
Yeah.
Everything's backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stranger Things, good show. Bam Bam, have you watched it?
I have.
Oh, thank God.
We watched the first season, but
yes.
So got the
reference. It's just everything's upside down. The fighters, right? The promoter's job is to promote the fighter so people know who he is and people pay money to watch the fighter and the fighters fight for belts. And that's how the ecosystem works. But that's not what happens in MMA. It's backwards. It's the promotion will take the guy who's got a big following or has some buzz about him or might have some buzz about him, and they give him the shot because he's going to build their brand, and they build their brand of their promotion up, and then they get rid of him when he stops being useful, and they get a new guy to promote their brand. It's not, their promoters don't actually promote.
Yeah, they're not promoting. They're picking and choosing guys who are going to help build it.
Yeah. I know you've talked about that. I know you talk about like that the fight game and stuff like that is not merit based, right? And you talk about that with examples of that. I want to confirm because I think when I was speaking with who was it? I feel like it was Charles Energy Johnson. The UFC rankings are not controlled by the UFC. They're controlled by the media.
But the media who's controlled by the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say.
Like, so the media, the people who pick the rankings are media people who UFC handpicked.
Oh. Yeah. Are you sure on that? Like they say like, hey, John Morgan, we want you to be like cast votes.
I'm from my understanding, like they're the ones who put whatever head ranking people in charge or whatever.
Oh. But okay, but you're saying, but we pick you and then we may give you a little wink wink on who we want to move up or down, but they're not actually controlling what you say, but you're just saying essentially
they do a lot of this like controlling without any strings type of thing. Right? It's like hard to like pin it on them. Gotcha. See, you wanted this guy to be a rank higher and blah blah blah. No, but
I wasn't attached,
but like there's definite like influence. There's 100% influence on they don't rig fights either, but they influence the fights. Right? They influence outcomes because they have the matchups. They get to pick who's going against who, and they've got all the data and the info from the UFC Training Institute or whatever. Like so they know your VO2 max and your bench press and all of that stuff they've got on printouts. They've got all that data, and they can influence things to get the best desired outcome they can. Doesn't always go their way, but they try to influence things a lot.
Yeah.
Hold on. I love me some conspiracy theories, But that's pretty deep if you're saying they're going to be looking at people's VO2 maxes as they're like doing their blood work or testing and stuff, and then go, hey, this guy might be on a slight decline here. Maybe now's the time to match him up with Joe.
Data is a hot commodity. People buy it up. So that's data. Like all of those numbers, that's swept up somewhere. Somebody's collecting it. What for?
Yeah.
That goes in life.
And they tell you it's for you.
They tell you it's for you, but it's if something's free, you're the product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
This is why I don't do online banking. Does that count, John Fitch? I don't let anyone know my shit, man. Okay, here, I want to ask you a couple of things if you don't mind, because I love your take on things. This one, Bam Bam, this is supposed to be a guest that's coming on the podcast because of Ashley Whiplash Thiner. She knows this dude.
Okay.
Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens, fresh off his BKFC big win over Eddie Alvarez, goes back to the UFC?
Yeah.
John Fitch, why would this man do this?
Well, UFC sees that he's got a lot of hype, so they can use that hype to push their brand. And because they do have that company, they control the wages in the combat sports arena. So they're going to be able to pay more money probably than BKFC. And I feel like there's a really weird connection between UFC, PFL, and BKFC.
PFL, you think with them?
There's a weird. They're both on ESPN. Like I think there's just weird connections. Like certain fighters will go and come, and it's just I don't know, man. It's conspiracy theory heavy, but when you get to a certain level of wealth, there's only a small amount of people with that kind of money.
Yeah, very true.
But my problem with him going there is like, I feel like when you say leverage him or whatever, I feel like they're just going to use him to lose now. Like they'll use his name to build up their brand and then build up a younger guy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who's he gonna fight?
I think he's fighting a young up and comer.
Yeah, he has the fight already booked.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying because you didn't know, or you're saying that facetiously?
He's saying he didn't know, but I seen that he was fighting a young up and comer.
Yeah.
But I did see today that it's a one-off deal for him, this one. Yeah. And it is in his like hometown or something. So they definitely, I could see them why they'd bring him in. Like he's hot right now in BKFC, coming off that big fight. It's opportunity for him to fight in his hometown. Get the hometown crowd so they can push that. Yep. Put him up against young up and comer.
Right.
He's got a name on him. He's been there, and he's also got the hype of being a BKFC star right now. Like, I can see that. Yeah, it's a good.
He's fighting. Yeah, he's fighting a 9-year younger, 29-year-old Mason Jones, who is a 2-time Cage Warrior champion. So yeah, this kid is someone on the up and up, I guess. And he's come, and so they bring Jeremy Stevens in for one fight. Which, if I'm Jeremy Stevens, I'm like, damn man, you went off to make your name, you did some good stuff, and now you're like coming back and like to possibly an unfavorable matchup on a one fight deal.
Money.
Just that money for that one fight, and just hope it pays off. Where's he going to be on the card?
I'm sure he'll be on the main card.
Is he fighting a lightweight?
Could be a prelim main event. You know what I mean?
What weight is this one at?
All right, hold on. I don't have producers and stuff like you do, John. So you gotta calm down here. Mason Jones is a lightweight / welterweight.
Okay, so this will be a lightweight.
It's gonna be somewhere in there, lightweight probably.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I'm not too keen on that, man. I love the dude, Jeremy Stevens, and I liked what he did. I liked what he got, but that seemed funny to me that he was there. This one here, speaking of PFL and the connection, Francis Ngannou. There's a lot of news about him, just people prophesizing or guessing that he's not going to fight again. I left a comment, John Fitch, that people got really mad at on some posts, where I said, look, Ngannou should be like charged with robbery because he went to PFL, he sucked away all their money for one fight where he looked like he was going to be the brand and the face ambassador and stuff like that for PFL. He goes in there, takes one fight, no inclination that he's going to fight again for these guys. They've had to now reduce their $1 million prizes to $500K. And this guy, like, you don't, like, before you saw his aunts in Africa wearing PFL shirts and stuff like that and random posts, like he was really being there for the brand. This dude is gone.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from Francis in a while.
Yeah, he's part owner or something, like piece of like the company, isn't he now? I don't know if
he
it's
was
an
like
ownership,
wasn't he
but
like no, he wasn't he like the fighter ambassador? He was going to fight for
Yeah.
pay and benefits and all that crap.
Mm.
Never heard anything about that.
Yeah, he was supposed to
Nope.
and be like the
They all say that type of stuff until that's what fighters need to wake up about, man. Is like the promoters, they know what's going on. They know it's scammy. They know like they're in some legal issues if fighters wake up. So like when someone like Jake Paul or Ngannou gets in a position where they can leverage talking about unifying fighters or getting people, together, like the promoters quickly address and deal with them, and then they don't hear that talk anymore. Like, when's the last time you heard Jake Paul say some shit about the fighters?
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I've heard, since being in the fight game, there's been off and on talks of different people. I mean, Cowboy Cerrone had mentioned it before. Conor McGregor mentioned about doing it at one time, like fighters coming together and stuff, and it just ends up disappearing. And I've always thought, like, okay, it's them.
They get a good.
They're coating their pockets. They're coating their pockets.
They get a good deal out of whatever they're negotiating at the time, but then they walk away.
Yeah,
and it's like so. Anyway, fighters that are listening, like the MMA FA exists. It's been around for pretty getting close to 20 years. Right? Yeah. Like, reach out, find out what's going on, find out what guys are doing. Like, there's people talking all the time.
Yeah.
And if you got some of these guys like Conor or Cerrone or anybody who's coming forward, be like, oh, I'm going to organize and whatever, and they're not wearing an MMA FA t-shirt and they're not talking about us, like, they're full of shit. They're just negotiating for themselves.
I've definitely, like, recently just started getting information about everything that's been, going on and kind of stuff, learning more about it from them, the MMA FA and stuff like that. So it's definitely, if you have any questions or looking for any knowledge on it or trying to figure out more what, what's taking place and stuff, message these guys, find out.
Yeah.
But John Fitch, I commentate for an organization out on the East Coast Canada, Fight League Atlantic. FLA 19 happening April 12th. Go check them out, fightleagueatlantic.com. Great place, great young fighters out on the East Coast of Canada. You think everything's beautiful out there, John Fitch? Like, everyone's just a nice Canadian living their beautiful life out there on the East Coast. No, these are killers, MMA fighters that are absolutely fantastic. The fights are incredible out there. To those guys that are the young up-and-comers and whatever, they're seeing these stories, but they all have aspirations. They all have the dreams to go to the UFC. What is your message to them? Like, how do they avoid the pitfalls of this, yet still achieve their dreams? Is it possible?
Man, yeah, I mean, it is, but there's, you got to be aware that it is an upside down market, and just being good and winning fights isn't enough. You're going to have social media presence. You're going to have followers and following and trying to move the needle outside of the cage, because that's what these promoters and the big promoters are looking for. You also have these managers now you got to deal with. It's not like the small town mom and pop managers. Now you've got management companies who represent 150, 250 guys. And if you don't have enough hype around you to get noticed, then you got to go through the managers, and you got to get in with the right managers who have the right connections to the right people. And it all gets very like Hollywood to me. And that's just super gay. You got to like kiss
Yeah.
ass. You got to kiss ass to like go beat somebody up. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the bullshit you got to do just to go and fight somebody and find out who's the better fighter. That's all we want to do, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to kiss anybody's ass. I don't care. You got a suit on. Like just make the
Yep.
fights happen.
Exactly.
But I didn't know where you were going to go with that, because I thought what you were saying is you need a social media following, you need to promote yourself and all that, that the management companies can see you, though. Because
that too. That too. The management companies, I think, are gonna see you because they're gonna hear about you in the gym. They're gonna, because they got other guys in the gym. And then the smaller events, they're gonna see you, or you're gonna go up against their guys, or that type of stuff.
Right.
But yeah. So having good media presence will help you get noticed by those managers too. But like it just sucks, because I'm not saying those managers are good people or great to work with, but like there are people who are barriers to entry that you got to deal with.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
You definitely have to
trying to find the best of the evil, I guess. The good and evil. Like, there's got to be a balance for sure with managers.
Yeah.
Like he said, if you don't move the needle and stuff, you go to these management companies that have 200 people. Like, are you really going to be they're going to try to find you a fight? Are they really going to be pushing you to these organizations to get you fights and stuff? If you're not moving the needle like they want you to, like, it's just, it's the same kind of thing.
Or if they've got somebody in your weight class
and they match you up against each other.
He's a hot ticket right now.
Yeah.
So they either keep you away from the guy you need to fight, or they match you up with the guy too soon.
Feed you to him.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just a different landscape. That's for sure.
It's a tough world, man. And the other thing too is, like, you have to be pretty financially literate. Like, you have to understand what's going on now, I think, more than ever, because like what you're saying, even if you do get with a manager or you don't get with a manager, you got to know the business side of things, man. Like, you have to be able to negotiate this yourself or navigate it yourself. And you got to be smart. You can't just be I don't know. I just feel like you can't just be a killer. You got to be smart, Yeah,
there's a lot of shit you got to deal with. I was lucky to have pretty good management. Just reading through the contracts and having somebody who can read through the contracts and understands what they're seeing.
Yeah.
But you got, some managers, they don't even read through that shit. They're just excited to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's tough, man. I mean, and we know, like, we do speak to a lot of managers and stuff like that on the podcast, and I'm friends with quite a few of them now. And there are some of them that I do really like. And I mean, look, I don't know how they deal with their business side of things, but I do hope that they're good people and that they're caring for people. But in all honesty, nobody cares about you more than you. So what are you going to do, right? You got to look out for yourself. Last question I'll ask you, speaking about deals and contracts, did you see that Amanda Serrano signs a lifetime deal with MVP? Did you see that?
No.
What?
Amanda Serrano. Oh, okay. Do you guys not even know who Amanda Serrano is? Which that's good if you don't, I guess.
I don't.
No idea.
No?
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, this makes this conversation better. Amanda Serrano is like the female boxer that Jake Paul keeps promoting and is on like every card of his. But she's like, their superstar female boxer.
Okay.
She signs a lifetime contract with MVP Promotions.
Is it a lifetime?
And I'm like,
collection?
What's that?
Is it like a lifetime she's collecting money lifetime?
That's what I mean, though. I don't know. Like,
why would
what
you
does
sign
that
a lifetime contract?
That's crazy, no? Like, for
that's
anything.
crazy. Yeah.
Just signed it. That's weird. It's MVPs. So like, yeah, there's like no way out of it. Like that seems like a bad idea.
Right.
It says MVP, Most Valuable Promotions, recently signed Amanda Serrano to a lifetime deal that will see the 7-division world champion become chairwoman of MVP's boxing initiatives once she decides to retire for competition. Is that not slavery, John Fitch? How do you sign someone to a lifetime deal?
Well, man,
she has to have an out, right? I guess.
Mad. It makes the people real mad. But like, no, I mean, no, because it's like built-in job security. So now she's going to be like this
Chairwoman. Yeah.
chairwoman person. Yeah, she's going to greet people and plan events, right? That's what it sounds like. That's what she's going to do when she retires. So she's got her job. And I'm sorry, like,
What if you don't want to do that anymore?
I think it's what she wants to do. I think she's planning her exit from fighting, and now she's making sure she's got money all the way down the road, because now she just has to do her little thing, and she's getting paid. It's not a bad deal. I mean, when you consider what most women make in the fight game, it's probably a decent deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you hope it is, but if inflation hits or something, like, I don't know, it just seems weird to me that you're signing I wouldn't sign a lifetime deal on my cell phone plan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to commit my job.
Yeah, but if your cell phone was paying you, though, I'm going to sign this lifetime deal to these people to pay me money.
Yep. Just
I guess.
Yeah.
Just seems weird to me, man. Anyways,
I don't know.
John Fitch, man.
It's weird to me that they push things that it just doesn't seem like people want to watch sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely changed a lot. Like the way fighting's directions with this celebrity fights and so much and stuff.
Yep.
YouTubers.
That's why I was getting into bare knuckles a lot. Because it just had a more of a feel like the early
feel. Yeah. Yep.
But then now it's getting some famous people in the crowd and stuff, and I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold on. Not to ruin things for you, but you understand that there's like some influencers fighting in BKFC, right?
Yeah, I heard about one of the guys.
That Bryce, what's his name? Bryce something. Did you see his first fight when the other guy magically at the end of the second round, his shoulder, like he says, my shoulder pops out and I can't fight anymore, but like there was no strike to the shoulder, no nothing. You're like, what the hell just happened? And the guy won.
Weird.
Shady stuff, man. Shady stuff.
Yeah, where it's getting to a point where, is everything just pro wrestling now? And it's like, you're not allowed to talk about it being fake, because then people get mad at you for calling it fake.
Yeah. Do you still watch fights?
I try to watch all the time.
Yeah.
Like weekend fights. I usually talk about the fights on my show on Sunday. But yeah, I don't always enjoy them.
Yeah.
It's like it's a lot of the fights are just the same karate, like point sparring type stuff. And I'm just like they're not even like biting down hard on the mouthpiece like the small glove Muay Thai guys in one championship are. So if you're just gonna do stand up, fine, but like at least bite down on the mouthpiece and get after it. Like,
yeah. Do you still train?
I teach seminars and I have a couple classes I teach here in San Jose.
Okay.
So I roll a few times a week.
Is it at your gym? Do you own? Is it your gym or is it just?
I don't. I'm at Claudia Franca Jiu-Jitsu here in San Jose, and I've been here about a year. I was there about a year because I was teaching. My sons go to jiu-jitsu there. Nice. But yeah, I think my own gym is on the horizon. It's in the future when I move.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'll be sticking to the the seminars because I can make enough. I can do 2 seminars a month and make enough to live in Indiana.
Wait, hell yeah.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna get into woodworking and shit, I think.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's good, man.
Awesome.
Time.
Yeah.
What about the children, John? Are they going to go into MMA?
They're more into football right now. They like football.
Oh, okay.
I force them to go to jiu-jitsu, and they did a tournament recently. I tell them they don't have to compete, but they're not going to ever get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll throw the belly pad and
let them rip some shots.
And, have them throw some punches, and We got some bully combos.
Nice.
You know, one to the stomach, hook to the head, headbutt. You know.
Hell yeah.
It's the way, man. It's the way. John
You
Fitch,
just
man.
gotta know something, because the kids today, they're a little soft.
Yeah.
And then they're a little soft, and then you got some hard ones out there too, who take advantage of the soft ones. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, just like in everything, like the divide between the two sides is getting larger and larger. Like what you said, like whereas before you might have a few in the middle, a few tough ones, a few soft ones, whatever. Now it's just like everyone's either super hard, super soft. There's like no medium anymore in anything in the world, right? Like whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Politics, religion, blah, blah, life, like whatever. Everything. It's just two sides, two hard sides. So it's crazy, man. Like the world is a bad place, but we have John Fitch Knows Nothing on YouTube. Go check that out, because that's a good show, man, and it keeps you grounded. I'm telling you. I appreciate your show. Your show is not influenced. You're not being bought. Nobody's telling John Fitch what to say.
Nope. I'm getting kicked
he
off
wants.
of stuff. Yeah, I'd say I've come in a comfortable position where I say whatever I want to about it, whatever I want to, just because I don't have any fear of, oh, somebody might get mad I said something. Like I don't really see anybody unless they call me.
Yeah.
But you know, I didn't need to do one this week because I was
selling the house.
Busy with we had the open house. The boys had their second football game.
Nice.
So that's a long day because it's two separate games.
Yeah. I bet.
Same location, or you got to travel?
Yeah, the same location.
Same location.
God, that'd be a nightmare. I'd drive.
Terrible. John, man, look, we've kept you way too long. I do really appreciate the time, man. Like I appreciate it so much, and you're a good dude, man. For those that are listening, go check out johnfitch.net. Go check out his stuff on Instagram. Go check out his stuff on YouTube. Of course, as always, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff. I'll put the links in the show notes as well. If you're listening on audio, I'll put that as well. But John, anything that you want to say to fans, viewers, and listeners that are hearing you now?
Just check out the website. Hit me up for seminars and whatnot. DMs are probably the best way to reach me, because I got an email up that I haven't checked that company email for a while, so I'm probably better off DMing.
Nice.
But that's about it. All
right. For any fighters who aren't already claimed and everything, where should they go and claim it? I know, but
UFCclassaction.com will be the website to go to. You can sign up. Make sure you're leaving your name, number, your home address, email address, right? All that contact info, so they can get a hold of you. Don't just leave your name.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And no fear. If you're a fighter out there and you've got money coming to you, we're talking like what, John?
Get your money.
13,000 a fight is what I heard, or something like that.
It's about that. It depends on who all claims in the end, because the money stays in the pool. So if you're not claiming your money's going to go to everybody else.
The leftover money that doesn't get spent, it goes to your favorite podcast, or where does it go? Where does the money go, though? The leftover money out of that 375 million, if you don't use that.
No, it gets dispersed to all the. Yeah. There'll be a cutoff date, so all eligible fighters need to be signed up by that cutoff date, and then after the cutoff date, whoever's in is in, whoever out is out, and then the money will get distributed to all the guys who are in.
So that makes you guys even better people than people already think you are, because legitimately, if people didn't sign, you two would get more money. But here you are telling people, come get your money.
Yep.
God, straight to heaven for both of you. That's all I know. That's what I'm saying. John Fitch, one last question before you go. I just want to ask you something I ask everybody that comes on the podcast. It's a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. I want to ask you, John Fitch, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
How happy am I? I guess a 7.
Like it.
Pretty good.
Anything you want to say about that 7?
Oh no, it's as soon as I get the house sold and relocated, it'll be up there 9, 10.
Oh, so that's giving you a little bit of stress. Just got that on your mind.
It's just a lot of stuff going on. I got a bunch of stuff in my garage that doesn't belong here, and
moving in general is a pain in the ass. It's just stressful in itself.
Yeah, it's I'm getting rid of most stuff though because I don't want to move stuff across the country. I got to figure out how to get my truck across the country. Yeah, I got a little baby girl on the way too.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, congratulations!
So that'll be coming up too.
Perfect setup. Two boys and then a baby girl. Perfect setup.
That's a little stressful because baby's coming like in the next couple months, 3 months, 4 months. Yeah. So I gotta get over there so we can have that baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want that in
my girl's like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. I feel great. She wants to do the drive with me. She wants to drive from California to Indiana. I'm like, babe, we don't need that on the road.
Emergency stop or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the baby in Iowa.
Well, look, John Fitch, man, I really appreciate it, dude. You coming on, you're a great guy, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you did for the community, for the MMA fighters, for the future of what hopefully will come. Good luck to you, man, and thanks for doing everything, man. Because this story needs to get out, man. People need to understand what you guys have done for people and what it means. So, congratulations to you, man. Feel good about that.
Good talking to you guys.
Really appreciate it.
All right, man. Talking with you. Yeah. Hopefully, to have you back on another time. Take care, my friend.
For sure.
See you later. Bye bye. That is Mr. John Fitch. Bam.
Good dude.
Good dude, man.
He actually knew his stuff too. Like we said, like most people talk here don't really know. So it's good to I know he was one of the first, in that first little group who made it all happen.
Yeah.
Thankful to them. Honestly, I didn't know a whole lot till up to recently. But the more and more I'm finding out is really thankful for all the work those guys have put in, John Fitch, everybody else included, all the work they put in on that, and continuing to help, even moving forward, and this next one's like to help change the sport. Hopefully it does make it better and better for upcoming fighters, the next generation. Obviously it won't probably change in my time, but hopefully after my time it's changed, and it's for the best.
I really wish I may have to go back to my legal contacts. We had a criminal defense lawyer that used to come on the show. Sadly, he's passed away now. We did have a lawyer out in California that came on before when we were talking about the Cain Velasquez trial. I may have to reach back out to that guy. He was a prosecutor, but I need to find someone who knows whether it's illegal to make people sign something that says you will not be part of a class action. Like, that's pretty, I don't know, man. That seems really wrong to me. I feel like it's weird. Like, that's like, signing like a waiver of liability, right? You go to Disney World or something and you have to sign something saying if I get injured on this ride, I can't see. Okay, fine. I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Because like you're taking that risk on your own, but something like that seems a little bit funny to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, look, tough. I'm sure the UFC is not doing it wrong. I'm sure it's something, but
obviously they're trying to protect themselves because obviously they're going through this lawsuit. So this started happening after this lawsuit has already taken place, and the next one has already been put together. So they started doing it midway through, protecting themselves really, so they're not having to pay out as much and really making it on the fighters. So that's tough, though. That's tough, man. I mean,
I don't understand why, and I guess I could have asked John, why is John Fitch not leading the second one too? I wonder why it's different people leading the different times.
So I think it's because, I mean, I can't speak for him or anything, or that I know the real answer, but I think, honestly, it's because I don't think he's in the second one. Maybe he is.
Oh, you're right. Because yes, that would make sense. Because to be in the class action.
Well, I mean,
hold on. I could find that out. Hold on, I could find that out.
To be in it, I mean, to be part of it. My camera's messing up. To be part of it, though, like, you don't have to be part of the actual lawsuit. I mean, I'm sure there's things you can do on the back end, on the backside and stuff, if you were really interested in being part of it and helping it come to a close and everything, and be better and make a real change or something. Sure, I'm sure there's things you can do in the back end.
No, okay, hold on. His last fight, John Fitch's last fight with UFC was 2013. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely then it was definitely it was
Yeah. So it was after his
right.
time.
So that right,
Yeah.
because this one goes till 2017 or whatever. So yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
Look, man, I just hope that everybody's happy and that things go well. But I do hope that, like, the only reason that a lawsuit happens like this is meant to invoke change.
Yeah.
And the change you're meant to invoke is not to get people to sign something so I can continue doing the same behavior but not have a penalty over it. Like,
Yeah.
we
So
want
I think
fighters to
that's
get
what he
paid
was saying.
more.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. I think about they got, because of the delay with the judge and like COVID causing delay as well, like they weren't ever able to get that certain thing that would help invoke
Right.
change. So
The
that's
injunction thing he said.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's part of this next one. It's
Okay.
already part of this next one. So it's like hopefully something really happens.
The reason the judge delayed is because someone got to him, right?
I mean, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. And
Because that's the
honestly,
whole
it
thing,
wouldn't it
right? Like, I
wouldn't
mean,
be like,
you're telling me you're a judge and you don't know that you're up against a time limit, that you should be doing stuff on time. Like, I don't care that there's COVID. You still could have done it.
yeah,
Or
just
you
never
would,
know,
or
I
you would.
guess. But you hope
Yeah,
not. You hope not, right?
of course, of course.
You
I'm
hope,
not.
yeah,
I'm not saying that.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
before we get out of here, I do want to thank a few people, like our friends of the podcast update. I do want to say thanks to Rageworks Podcast Network. Of course, always we're on rageworksnetwork.com, that you can find other great audio podcasts such as ours. And if you're listening to us on there, thank you so much. We're thrilled to be a part of the Sweep the League Network and the Refocused Network. These platforms are all about showcasing incredible creators and hosting interviews that inspire. So really thanks to them too. I was just talking to some of the guys that run that as well. They've put our podcast on the different supporter pages, and bam, we have to record in a commercial for them later. We will do that because that's going to air on their shows as well, like a little 30-second clip. So take your shirt off and flex or something. Do something for that.
Yeah.
What else?
Bod.
Yeah. What else do we want to say? Look, everybody that we appreciate. Next week on the podcast, I believe we have two fighters. One for sure is Mr. Liam Harriman. He's an MMA fighter turned pro boxer. He won his debut boxing fight a few months ago. I interviewed him on millions.co. And he's going to be having his second fight. So he's going to come on here and we'll talk to him here. We'll have a little bit of a longer talk. He trains with Jorgen De Castro and some other great fighters, but he's a very good young guy looking to do his thing. So congratulations to him. And then somebody else. I really want Talita Alankar. She's a UFC fighter. I interviewed her before her UFC debut. She won on the Contender Series, won her debut, dropped her second fight, but now her third fight is against that girl that strips on the pole, the girl that always does the strip dances and jumps into the arms of Bisping. You know that chick, Vanessa Demopoulos?
On a pole.
She used to be a stripper or something like that.
Oh.
But then when she's in the cage, she jumps into the arms of Bam Bam.
I could say,
Bisping. You've never seen that?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it, but I could not tell you what she looks like, her face.
Sure.
I'm not getting the picture, but I remember seeing like someone jump in the arms and stuff like that.
Multiple times. All I'm saying is that Talita Alankar is fighting that girl, which that girl's kind of a big name, man. She's had a lot of fights in the UFC. So Talita Alankar to get that fight, that's going to be a big fight for her. She's a BJJ specialist, world champion. That's a big fight for her. So I do want to get her on the podcast as well. We're trying to work that out. Yeah. Beyond that, got lots of guests that are coming on, Bam. Before I go, I've got one conspiracy that I want to throw out here.
All right.
You know how I love me my conspiracies?
Yeah. Let's see it.
This one's maybe not the hugest one, but Timmy B, conspiracy of the week. I'm going to show a photo here. This is going to be happening at 1FC where conspiracies are abound. Boom. That is... Okay, wait, hold on. What are you laughing at already? This is the picture on screen.
Nothing.
What are you laughing at, though?
Nothing.
No. Wait, why are you laughing? Because it's 1FC?
No. What? No. Go back to the picture. Let's see.
Wait, do you know who these people are, first
I
off?
have no idea. That's probably why I'm laughing. Yeah.
Of course not. Okay. This is, I mean, and no offense that you don't know, because of course you wouldn't. Now, it's hard for me to figure this out because, of course, I'm banned from a lot of the 1FC profiles. Yeah, 1FC Thailand has now banned me as well. Hold on.
Dang.
Man, they block me a lot. I'll tell you that. Jeez Louise. Shatri has not figured out to block me though, so I can still go on here. That's Rod Tang versus whoever that guy is.
Rod Tang.
Rod Tang. He's like a big big
No,
Muay Thai
which
guy.
one? The shorter one or the tall?
Oh, Rod Tang is the shorter one.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
By about 3 feet shorter.
I've heard pretty good at what Muay Thai guy, right?
Yeah. He's the guy that fought Demetrius Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is his opponent.
Yeah.
In 1FC, they have to make weight and hydration.
Yeah.
For those on audio only, his opponent there is like literally 2 feet taller than him.
Yeah.
Bam Bam.
Is this two champs from different weight classes, obviously, right?
I don't know. I don't know why. Because they're both holding belts, you mean?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. Bop. The match between Rod Tang and Takeru Sagawa in a kickboxing super fight will be on March 23rd. Takeru Sagawa. No, that wasn't that guy. Who the hell was that guy? Anyways, all I'm saying is that guy's not making weight and hydration.
Yeah.
Now, I know they fought before, but conspiracy of the week, that's not happening, dude. Not with the weight and hydration. Unless Rod Tang was like super jacked and fat or something. You know what I mean? Or like built with muscle and he's the shorter guy.
And like he's going up?
I don't think they're even going up. It doesn't matter.
Are they finding out a catch or something? Because then,
look,
if he's going up, it would like if the other guy's a heavier weight class and the other guy's going up, then okay, like the rehydration thing and everything could probably be possible. Or if it's at a catch weight.
No,
possibly.
because and the next. Anyways, this segment is.
So what's
terrible.
the conspiracy?
The conspiracy is that they're rigging this to allow these two to fight.
Oh,
because there's no way I feel that these two could actually weigh the same / have the same hydration or like the safety level.
Past the hydration.
That's the thing, right? Like the weight, sure, you could figure it out, smaller, bigger, but with the hydration, it seems like, well, wait a second.
Yeah,
that's too much, man.
Because they're not allowing you to cut like any major amount of weight.
Right. So the giant guy.
Yeah.
How the hell is he going to make the same weight and hydration as the guy that's 2 feet shorter than him?
But you said they fought before?
Yeah. Hold on. Rod Tang, the Iron Man, Jit Muangnon. He's fight. I don't know. Maybe this guy's name is Takeru Sagawa. Does it look like that's the name in the back? Oh yeah, Takeru. Oh, yeah. He's blonde on my other thing. Yeah. Okay. They fought before. Yeah, I don't know. Bantamweight fight, 135 pounds. That's the thing too. When you're 135, there's not a lot of weight to lose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got the taller guy who's probably skinnier and stuff like that, and then the other guy looks like a stump almost, like he's thick and bulky, stocky. So it's probably just different builds, really.
All I'm saying. No, but they're not though. They both like. I don't know, man. With the hydration makes it really difficult. So here's my conspiracy of the week. If they both make weight, conspiracy, I think it's a lie. But what I think is going to happen is that one of them's not going to make weight, or that that they're not going to pass hydration, because so many fights at 1FC don't pass with the hydration and the whatever. There's always a problem, and I foresee this fight falling out. And then another person steps in. That has happened before with 1FC, where they'll take some guy like last minute, like a day before the fight. They'll take John Lineker, who's sitting on the couch, and go, "Hey, come in and fight Ioki or whatever."
Pass.
Yeah, sure, but then they do whatever. All I'm saying is that
slide on the table kind of thing.
Yeah, and then John Lineker loses in like a minute, where like of course he wouldn't lose. Something weird is going to happen with this fight. That's all I'm saying. Something weird is going to happen. Okay, that's the conspiracy of the week. Boom. Bam Bam. This is perfect timing. We had a good show. Anything you want to say?
Great show. Great having John Fitch on. Talking with him, helping here, clarifying things up on the antitrust lawsuit, and hopefully, if you haven't claimed your money, you fought in that time period, go claim your money. If you're in the next one, I know you can choose both, so do that. Get ready to be part of the next one, and hopefully there's change for fighters, man. Hopefully there's overall change for fighters and the next generation and everything. I personally believe that fighting has changed a lot, obviously, the landscape, but even still, fighters deserve more. That's for sure. They deserve everything they're putting in, everything they're sacrificing, everything they're, paying just to get to the fight and everything, and then still having to pay for those things. With not making anything or not enough to cover those things.
Sure.
It is a tough life leading up, and it's not something, definitely the next generation of people coming up, it's not for the faint of heart, for sure. You got to really want it.
Yeah.
But I do hope for change for the next gen.
The only change that makes sense as a result of the reasons why this whole thing is there is because they're paying so little of their profits.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't about healthcare. This isn't about
hopefully
being able to work.
Hopefully it leads to that.
No, I understand, but but bottom line, I feel the bottom line thing is that, hey, you're only paying out 20% of your profits when really you should be paying more of your profits based on other organizations, blah, 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 right? Or other sports.
Yeah, but I think there is folded into that is also like,
sure,
healthcare and benefits and,
pension,
retirement, pension.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I believe that is all folded into this next lawsuit for sure.
I understand. And go watch our podcast where we detail the MMA pension that does exist in California that's eligible to any fighter around the world. But here's the thing. What?
I could get money.
You have to fight. You have to fight as of the date it started. You have to fight 10 or 12 fights in the state of California.
Okay. It's California then. Got it.
It's a California thing right now.
Yeah.
It's a legit thing. Anyways, the change we would see, though, should be very quick because it will be once fighters' contracts start getting more, that the fighters all start making more money. So if this lawsuit is going to change anything, it's going to change fighters' contracts. So we should know that relatively soon because people will start saying it, or we'll see it, or we'll hear it.
I don't think that'll happen until after this next one's solved.
Sure, fine. All I'm saying is, goddamn, some sort of change has to happen. That's the whole friggin' point of this.
Exactly. Yes, you are 100% right.
And because if the lawsuits continue to happen, like you and John were saying, there's going to be fighters that are scared to be part of it, or scared to put their name forward, or scared to claim their money, and that's not great. So screw all that. Get rid of all that stuff. Just let's make the pay right from the get-go, and then you don't have to worry about that stuff, right? It takes away that stuff from everybody. Last question, Bam. If you get money, do you owe money to your coaches and stuff retroactively?
No, you paid them.
You paid, well, yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
First of all,
I guarantee you.
Yeah, say it.
I guarantee you, there's some scuzzy gym owners, 100%. Managers, or whatever.
100%. I was just about to say that for sure. You're gonna see like managers, or probably some coaches, gym owners, stuff like
that.
Yeah. Like, oh, hey man, I mean, you got that, but we were part of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which, no, like, that belongs to the fighter. Period.
There's gonna be a bunch of lawsuits happening because there's gonna be a coach who's gonna go, hey, you were giving me 10% of your purse. Yeah. Now you're getting a retroactive $13,000 for that fight. I want my $1,300.
Crazy. And it's sad. Or you're gonna have managers like, I got you that fight. The percentage,
whatever. Whatever the agreed upon percentage was.
Hell,
now you've got
kick rocks.
Go to the law firm of Bam Bam and Timmy B, and we will defend that lawsuit.
Then we will fight.
Well, Bam Bam will fight for you. I ain't doing crap. Look, Bam Bam, we're out of here, man. I'll put the links to the lawsuit or to the Cain Velasquez podcast because that's a law-ish one, and then I'll do the one for Heather Jo Clark because that's the other one that kind of really explains what the hell we're talking about today. But aside from that, man, great to have you as always.
Great.
And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Fight League Atlantic 19, FLA 19. Go check that out. Bye, guys.
Bye.